let's get started with the Echo review.
Yes.
The final half.
So go on, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say, so I got to watch 3, 4, and 5, which I was under the impression maybe there was 6 episodes. Which, to be honest, I'm kind of glad that there's.
It was originally planned, but they just didn't need it. You know.
Yeah. So I'll say this: it's not a Disney Plus show, but it ran like one. And
what do you mean it's not a Disney Plus show?
Well, I guess it's because I watched it on Hulu, but at this point, like, you can watch it on Disney Plus. So
okay. Yeah,
but it ran like a Disney Plus show, what you would expect to run like at this point. And it did the whole thing where we had 15 minutes left to go, and I went, I don't know how you're supposed to wrap all of this story up in 15 minutes, and then it attempted to.
That finale, man.
And I'm trying to think. Okay, so like some good things. Let me start with some good things about the show. I liked some of the fights. I like some of the fights. I like the Daredevil fights. I think that Echo's action sequences sometimes were good. I think that the grandma was pretty great actress at some points.
Yes.
I like the grandpa.
Correct.
He's a cool character. I think Vincent D'Onofrio was one of the other exciting things about the show.
He was the best part of it.
And maybe I'll think of some more as we go along.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. I think like, you know, with like the grandparents and like, you know, like their intimate conversations, I thought the dialogue was strong. And I think with most scenes Kingpin is in, I think the dialogue is also strong. But yeah, I mean, and maybe there's a couple of like times they push the envelope with like the rated R thing or like rated M, where you know, like there was a death in episode 3 where I was like, oh, we saw a lot more violence there than a usual like Disney death.
Which death are you talking about?
The sleazy guy at the bowling alley. Him getting shot up in episode 3.
Did he just got shot?
Yeah, but he was running away from them, and like they like just laid some bullets into him, and then he like flopped over the counter, and he was like all bloody. And I was like, all right, but I mean that was something, you know.
It was something.
Yeah.
that whole bowling scene, like bowling alley,
like it was so dramatic, but it wasn't. It never like got me feeling like everything was like at a head, you know.
Yeah, like that was that episode. That episode, because that's the one where she sees Kingpin at the end, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so that episode is the one where I texted you and I said, this show wants to be this gritty FX like action show sort of thing, like a Sons of Anarchy and like also an extension of Daredevil, but it just never reaches that. Like it tries to do this like dark, cool music, and like they even try to do the Rob Zombie like music in the roller rink, and it's all red, and like I'm like, this looks like it could be a really cool, intense, you know, not that everything has to live up to a Daredevil hallway scene, but like it could be a really cool set piece,
right?
And there could be like building tension, but there just never was any of that. And I didn't feel like if this was a much better show and more engaging to me, and let's say Kingpin comes back like episode 8 of a 10 episodes like season, or 10 of a 12 episode, like I could feel potentially, if it's, you know, I could definitely see that being like that, like, oh shit moment.
Are you saying like the oh shit, or like the oh shit moment where he like shows up at the end?
He shows
like,
up.
Even like the call, like I get what you're saying, like, but I agree with you in that sense where like even that call that the guy gets where he's like, where he decides not to kill her uncle or whatever it is. Like that is still like if you hadn't seen Kingpin the whole time and you're just like, oh, that was definitely Kingpin on the other end of that call. I think that is like even more like way more exciting than it is like if you hadn't seen him, or if you had seen him, I guess I should say.
Right.
But like, I don't think I could have sat through 8 episodes of this show without Kingpin. Like he was like the driving factor is why it was good at all.
Yes, but I'm saying if this show was a better show in general, like it was engaging, and then you had like the big bad show up who you think is dead, you know, whatever. That could be. I'm just saying I could feel they were trying to be like, oh my God, but it's also been what, 2 episodes since we saw him last.
Well, I think he still showed up in like a flashback or something in episode 2.
Right. So we already knew he was like alive, but like, anyways.
Yeah.
Wasted opportunities there.
Agreed. And before we get any farther in this episode, I want to say how bad I think this intro for the show is.
I skip it every single time. I don't even. Yeah. I don't. It's just
I skipped it the last time finally, but like, damn, it is one of the cheapest looking intros I've ever seen on a show.
And also, why the yeahs like. Why that song? I don't like it. It feels so out of place.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize that was already an existing song.
Yeah.
It's not good. Like the fade in and fade out editing of like people's faces and like there's just cheap shots that they use and it's just oh god. And like the final shot of the intro is like them going through her legs and they focus on like the metal one. It's all so freaking cheesy and I hate it. And I can't believe I watched it 4 times and didn't skip it.
I can't believe you actually did that.
But you know that kind of leads in. Oops, sorry there. That leads into like the first scene of episode 3, which I thought it started off strong. It went to like another one of her ancestors, if you remember. It was the silent film one.
Which also, yes, it was silent for a moment.
Yes, I was gonna point that out.
And then we start getting all these noises, and I'm like, it's like breaking the milieu that they've set up.
Right. I was like, they couldn't even stick to this filming style for 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. They ditched it, and yeah, you could hear the guys were screaming, and it was
and like the horses and the gunshots.
What happened? You could have gone so full in on this.
If they would have gone full in on it, like I was like, you don't even need to be doing the like old timey, like this is what they said, and then we cut to the action. Like you didn't have to even need to do that.
I didn't mind it,
but like you did it. So like I don't know why you didn't just stick with it, because as soon as you start having like the sound and everything, I don't know why, but I'm just like, you're betraying the thing that you set up. And I would have actually enjoyed that more if you just would have kept it silent.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
It's just such a weird choice.
Yeah.
And also, I got to say that I feel like these flashbacks, if this was a show that had more episodes and had more time to breathe and like focus in on the characters of these flashbacks, the end of the show where it shows her getting the powers and she's an echo through all of her, I could feel, I can see how that could be a really powerful moment.
Right.
But I don't know any of these characters. I don't spend time with them for more than like 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to care and feel this like long lineage of ancestors and powerful women, but I don't actually like some of them I see do cool things. And if anything, the girl in the one that we're currently talking about, like she was the one that I could connect with the most, because she had that that disagreement between her and her father about her wanting to be like a warrior. And so like I could feel stuff like that, but anyways, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like the flashbacks just didn't really do what I feel like they wanted to do.
I agree, and I think it would have, like, I don't know, maybe you just said it, but like I think it would have made though, like the scenes where, like, you know how in a fight scene where like she'll like throw a punch and like it'll flash back to the ancestor who's doing the exact same thing or something. That, I mean, they did it too much, I feel, but I think even if they had toned it down, like it would have been served so much better if we had gotten to like really care about those ancestors.
Exactly.
But we don't, like, I don't care. So why would I care about you like repeatedly flashing back during a fight scene to people I don't care about? Right?
Exactly.
I totally agree. Funny enough, I don't know if you realize I wrote notes for this, so I do have like a lot of notes that are just like, why did they choose to do this? You know, like that makes no sense. You know, like
let me hear them.
So when she gets kidnapped in the beginning, why is she still in town? She completed her mission. Why is she just walking on a trail alone? There's no reason.
Wait, explain.
So remember, she got kidnapped to like go to the bowling alley, and she was just walking along that trail, and then like her ancestor pops up in front of her, and then she gets kidnapped.
I don't know if I remember.
Yeah, but like after episode 2, she had done what she had accomplished in Oklahoma. So like, why was she still there in Oklahoma? I don't know. And then at the bowling alley, they tried to make her friend Bonnie like think that everything was fine, and then they just kidnapped her anyways. And I was like, well, I was like, what the hell was that?
That scene was so, because I know exactly what you're talking about,
right?
Because they made such a big deal about hey, fucking make sure this is cool.
Yeah, and then she goes back out to her car and then just follow her. I'm just like, what? What was the whole point of that scene?
They kidnapped her anyways,
right?
Because of they didn't trust her, which, like, yeah, you shouldn't have.
Right.
That scene just should have never happened.
Correct.
That scene would only work well if it was either written in a way that made it seem like everything was fine, or if the character, you actually thought that the character would be like, oh yeah, okay, see, like it's like a comedic relief character or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only excusable.
And also, when Echo's trying to break out from that room she's in,
why would they give her the boot?
Sure.
Okay, so something else. Okay.
But she's building that contraption.
That's stupid. Yeah,
and she's like firing it off like at least 2 to 3 times.
Hey, the woman hears it. Right?
And I was like, she's
just not
banging away at stuff back there, and it's an open air, like there's no solid wall covering up muffling sound. I'm like, this woman's an idiot.
Yeah.
Which, like, sure, they show her as like, you know, like country, like, oh, I'm country and I'm kind of dumb and, you know, like sort of character, like, you know, but that, I'm like, fine, I guess we all just can't hear what she's doing, and we don't care.
Well, yeah, Echo can't hear, so no one else can, you know.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
The rest of the episode, I didn't have any like major flaws. I just like the bowling alley fight scene was okay. But like the shining part of that episode was Kingpin showing up at the end and being like, hey, how you doing? You know, just all menacing, and that was great.
Yeah, that's hey, how you doing?
I can move on to episode 4 if you want to.
Well, yeah, and then episode 4, I don't know why this stuck with me, but like he's like, I thought we could have a Sunday family dinner. Right. And then she signs it's Tuesday, and I was like, oh my god.
Like, you're really gonna take him literally? Okay, great.
But just like I feel like it was supposed to be sarcastic, but it just like I was like, oh my god, this is so This is such a stupid line.
But you can't tell, like, how you can't tell sarcasm.
Well, but like good American Sign Language, like good dialogue. Because I've seen, like I was watching like The Sound of Metal.
Like good facial expressions, right?
Facial expressions, just the way that words are structured, whatever. Like it could come across.
Sure,
and
like
it just
emphasis
wasn't.
with like hand movements, right.
But like I will say that the actress that plays Echo, she does have facial expressions.
Sure.
But it's very hard to tell sometimes if she, like the nuance.
Yeah, what
like,
she's feeling.
Like, because I'm like, a lot of time it's kind of stoic, mean, face.
Cold, right?
Yeah.
Well, I still think Child, Maya or whatever her name is, kills it. I love that. I saw it in the trailer for the
Child,
for the most part. Yeah, but like that opening scene of episode 4, I thought was fantastic. Oh
no, it's so sad. She just wanted the ice cream, and he just like, even the way that she ran away, I was like, oh, I actually felt something, which I was like, oh, cool, I'm feeling something. And if I was Kingpin, I probably would do. I don't know if I'd beat a man to the
to the point of death almost, right? But no, I loved all of it. I love that Maya saw it all. I love that she went over and kicked the guy. I think it was great, especially on Vincent D'Onofrio's end. I think him like realizing that that she witnessed this horrific act was very cool. But yeah, and then we switched to like this part during the the blip or whatever you want to call it, like the 5-year period where everyone blipped.
Sure.
Yeah, so there was a scene in 2021 where he's like, "Oh, I've taught you all I can. Like you've had your like the final. This is your final lesson." And then he kills the interpreter, and I'm like, "So you're just not gonna speak to her like ever again? Like what? Like what was the point? Like were you just gonna hire another interpreter? I mean, he never hires another interpreter, so I don't understand. Right?" And
that was
so
a weird choice.
Right. So basically, like 5 years have gone by at least, and she's just like, he is just now giving her this tech where she can see like him talk, and like the hand movements like appear like on his hands, like for sign language.
Which by the way,
I honestly love the tech. It sounds like you don't love the tech.
I like the idea of the tech, but it looks cheesy as fuck.
Oh, really? I thought it made sense. I thought it
cheesy.
I thought it looked good. But yeah, that's just me. I don't know. Like I could see that like actually existing, No,
I think that would be great if they could do that.
Right.
And whatever, if it looked cheesy, I think it'd be great. But how do you feel about, I have the idea that eye patch thing he's wearing is actually like regrowing his skin.
Maybe. I honestly feel like it's more though that like I thought like from episode 1 that she had actually shot him like fully in the eye. But no, they just they copped out, and it looks like she just grazed his eye. She
shot him in the head.
Right, but apparently it was like 5% of his head, and not like the dead center for some reason. I don't know. It makes zero sense. I'm bummed that they copped out that hard. And that was a strong part of this episode. Once Kingpin leaves, she goes and talks with her grandmother, and I thought that conversation was pretty strong until like Maya just abruptly leaves. But yeah, I like, just like you were saying earlier, the grandmother's just like one of the strongest parts of the show. And and even in that dialogue where it's mostly just the grandma, like it's strong as hell.
Yeah, and I think she's the same grandma in Killers of the Flower Moon, which I watched.
Oh, really?
And
nice.
She's different role. That would make sense. Very different kind of role.
Right.
But very good.
Um, I hated the fact that she felt compelled to make an outfit for Maya. Um,
At first, I was like, why?
Right.
But then with the powwow, I was like, well,
it was just
okay.
I think it's been done so many times in like superhero stuff where like, oh, we gotta make the costume now. I don't even know like if I have an easy solution to how to fix this, but maybe just don't even give her an outfit. Like maybe don't even give her like a superhero type outfit. Maybe make her more like a Luke Cage type where she just has a signifying like shirt and pants and you just roll with that. But like I did not think she needed that outfit.
Sure.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, so you called it earlier in the season. Her goal the whole time was to become Queen Pin, right? But why would that be her goal if like she is so disgusted by everything Kingpin does, right? Like it doesn't make sense. It like no. You're actively trying to destroy him because of what he is, but then you're trying to become him? Like what? I don't know. It just I don't know. Made no sense.
Nope. Did not. Nope.
Yeah. I liked the hotel room scene. Vince's acting was good. But again, makes no sense why she wouldn't just choose to kill him if that was her whole goal the entire time. Yeah. I mean, I get it that she wants to earn it maybe, but that's stupid in itself.
Sure.
And I don't know if you noticed, but they changed the hammer from the Daredevil show that he used.
Yeah, I felt like it looked different.
It's a different hammer. Yeah. But yeah, that was episode 4. And then we get into episode 5 where we get another flashback scene with where she kills a bird.
Oh yeah.
And that's when we realized that her mother was a literal healer. Like she had she had literal powers of healing. And Maya just never like questioned it once.
Nope.
Like never thought, hey, I should ask anybody in my family about this. Nah. Yeah. We get that scene I was talking about earlier with the grandmother and the grandfather having a nice moment together.
Yeah.
Giving her back the sewing machine that she wanted him to sell. Yeah, and then I was bummed that Maya threw away the eye contact that she just got. And I was like, so you're just gonna like just to spite Kingpin, just like actively make yourself worse.
Well, but here's the thing. From what I think is the technology is because when she starts talking to like her cousin or uncle or whoever the fuck, he's still signing to her the whole time, and she could easily be like, "Oh no, I can understand you," but I think it only works if the other person has the other contact, because like the contact either is picking up his voice information and then relaying it. Like I don't know how the contact would work, but I don't think.
But it worked on other people, Like
no, they only ever used that the contact between her and
Are you sure?
Yeah, because she still had it and was signing with and the guy was still signing, like her family member was still signing.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes a difference then, because I'm like, well, think about how much that contact would have helped if like she had it in the bowling alley. Like she was like looking at those 3 who just kidnapped her and she had no idea what they were saying. And I was like, oh, the contact would have been perfect there. But no. Yeah. No. But like if it's just a 2-way thing, then I get it.
Yeah, because like he's hearing her.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't ever think that technology will exist.
Right. Since you would have to have like 2 users. Right.
But
yeah.
No,
that's neat. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then, wait, oh shoot, I lost my spot. There are times in the show. Yeah. Like again, I brought it up earlier, but there's just times in the show where like Maya doesn't do anything, like after episode 3 where she just stuck around. And then now in episode 5, she she decides not like episode 4, she decides not to kill Fisk, and then she just goes to a restaurant and has a meal. And you're just like, what's your plan? Like so you're not gonna kill Fisk, and you don't want him alive, and you want to be Queen Pin, but now let's just go out to eat.
You know,
like
I think
everyone's got to eat, I guess.
I think the thing that really makes me not feel invested in the show is probably what you're saying right now, which is I don't know what Maya's motivations are. I don't know what the show's about.
Yeah, totally agree. The show just has such a lack of direction. It's ridiculous.
It doesn't know what its main character journey is.
Right. And so like I was confused when like her mom like healed her from beyond the grave. I was like, has Maya been hurting this whole time? Like is she like going through something that I'm not like aware of? Yeah, I don't know. It was just odd. And yeah, but then, you know, we finally get to the powwow scene, and yeah, it's boy, that whole scene where, you know, I don't know if you're cool just skipping like straight to that where like Kingpin like comes in and like they meet at the very end.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but like, boy, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. Basically, like, I thought it was a guarantee that one of those family members
we're
was
gonna die. Yeah,
right. Because like, it's basically like literally it's Kingpin or them. Like that's what it is. And then, you know, and then she gets like, you know, she builds up, she's getting those powers, and then, but you know, and then
she's charging, she's fucking charging.
Like, I don't know. Somebody said like that they thought that she had like also like she was also sharing her powers with like her cousin and grandmother. But I was like, I think those two also just got it awoken. I think they're also a part of this lineage.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, like she's building up. I think there's even a point where like I can't exactly remember, but like she's touching Kingpin, and like I think they're also like the two of them are still restrained, and I'm like, why is no one shooting if she is doing like a direct attack to like Kingpin the boss? Like what is going on? Like why is there such like this gigantic plot hole where like no one just wants to act and do anything? And then once, you know, like Kingpin goes in that vision, he's like, what did you do? And then just runs.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? That's your response to you realizing Maya has powers and she unlocks something in you. You're just gonna run. I thought
the
like weakest thing
the guy
that like done.
Like guys kind of like dragged him away or something. Am I remembering that wrong?
It didn't seem like that to me. Like it like he was screaming like, what did you do to me? And then it just kind of cut him like out, like to outside, like running to his car. And I was like, what? So that's how both of them get to survive. He just gets to like run away.
Maybe the scene went, what did you do to me? And like it's just like quiet. And then he gets up off his knees and he just like starts walking to his car.
I would love that so much.
Or like he's just like, what did you do to me? And she's like, and
like, so like,
okay,
we don't
I
ever
guess
get,
I'll go.
A confirmation that like she also healed his heart or anything like that. But it's
like
rough,
the thing is like, with the character, like, okay, he wants to run for mayor. We see that,
which I think is it's a nice scene. I think it's good. You set up the next Marvel shows, whatever. I think it's good. Yeah,
and I like the plot line of Kingpin running for mayor. I think it's a good one. It ties into Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah,
it's good.
Probably could tie into Spider-Man too if we want.
But I don't for a second think that they're gonna keep Kingpin as like, oh, I'm a good guy. I'm
Not a
healed.
chance. Not a chance. Yeah. So like, yeah. What was the point of that scene then?
And it like he like yes, there was a part of him that like wanted maybe to be a good guy, but it wasn't like necessarily like it wasn't shown, or I didn't really feel like there was a part of Kingpin that was wanting to make amends, I guess. Like it just was strange that the climax of the show was let me heal Kingpin from his childhood abuse.
Right.
Potentially.
Potentially. I mean, like that's what her power's supposed to do, but we didn't ever see that happen. So like, yeah, what are we supposed to gather from that? Because it's not like any of the Marvel properties have much continuity lately, you know?
And I mean, if you keep Kingpin as just like a good guy, it's like the same thing with Smart Hulk. I don't want it anymore.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's not going to happen because he's the antagonist of Daredevil. So I literally don't understand the point of the show, and the fact that they're like planning for the future of Echo along with like the street level of the MCU is just disappointing. Like I don't get how the viewership could tell you, yeah, this show is in demand, you know, or like the critics or the ratings, any of it. I don't get it. Like they say they're prioritizing stronger and like more established properties, but
I think this show though was like, okay, we made it.
Agreed, but if you're gonna plan for Echo to keep like reappearing, I think that's a problem. I think that goes against what they're saying, you know?
Do you think that they included Echo into that conversation though?
From what I hear, that's what I heard last, is that like Echo is like the first point now of like the MCU's like new street level, and that she'll probably reappear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Oh well.
So who knows? Maybe they'll get their senses, but I doubt it with Marvel. So yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
overall,
bad show.
Look, it wasn't like the worst thing I've seen in Marvel, and it's not.
Is it the worst show?
No,
for Marvel?
It's not the worst show.
Yeah, it's not. It's close.
It's close.
It's close. But there are two shows that I think are worse. Surprisingly,
I would say, Hawkeye is potentially worse.
Yeah, I couldn't say that.
I would say Secret Invasion is worse.
Secret Invasion and She-Hulk, I would say, are worse.
Oh yeah, She-Hulk. God. Yeah.
yeah.
I would rather watch Echo. No, I take that back. I do think I like Hawkeye better than Echo.
Yeah.
I did.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
Because Kate Bishop was like an actual character.
Yes. And I enjoyed a lot of parts of Hawkeye still. But yeah, I have no want to ever revisit She-Hulk or Secret Invasion.
And now Echo. I have no want to revisit this.
But like I would I could see myself watching Echo. I don't think I could see myself rewatching Secret Invasion.
I think the only reason I would rewatch Echo at this point is like if somebody hadn't seen it and I just wanted to show them all like the Kingpin stuff. Right. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. But that's far between the
But at that point, you could just look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, but don't you want like some context, you know, to the story? I don't know. It's not good context, so you got a point. But yeah, I think that's our.
You could pause the YouTube video and then be like, "So this is what happened." You go, "Okay," and then you play the video.
True. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about this. At this point,
it's over. It's done. I got one more thing to finish,
Forever.
and that's the Marvels, and then I'll be caught up.
There you go. And then, yeah, we don't have another TV show for Marvel for a little bit, right?
At least a year. Unless we do
we have-
X-Men.
No, I mean we have. Oh, that's true. That's true. We have X-Men. Okay. I don't think we'll do X-Men, but we might do like there's other shows coming out this year. So
What?
Like I know the Wakanda thing I think is coming out this year, and I think the Peter Parker like freshman year, Spider-Man freshman year might be coming out this year.
Okay.
So it's possible. But yeah, so I mean, but those are both animated as well. So
Sure.
a lot of animation this year, I think.